So he says here in verse 43, if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Now, let's explain this verse, because a lot of people I've heard weird interpretations of this verse. Like you said, well, your worm, that's talking about your soul. Okay. Now, where in the Bible is your soul called your worm? You know what I mean? Or your spirit called your worm? Or your brain? Or your, what in the world? But like it's a part of who you are, your worm. Boy, that Peter Ruckman, just when you think he can't get any weirder. He said like I heard him say something, he said like when you're in hell, you like devolve, like evolution, you like devolve backwards through these animal stages until you're down to a worm. I mean, that guy's a psycho. I can't even believe how anybody can even listen to that guy. See, I can't believe you'd say that. Well, you must not have ever heard the guy preach, because the guy's nuts. I mean, what is he on, his third wife? He's on his third wife, and he's still pastoring the church. Okay, do you like Peter Ruckman? Well, whatever. The guy's on his third wife. What was that one stuff he showed me, this sermon clip of him preaching? He's talking about how his ex-wife threw herself out of the car at 50 miles an hour, and his other ex-wife tried to slit her wrist, and the guy's like bragging about it, or it sounds telling some story to sound, I don't know, shocking or whatever. I mean, some of his doctrine is so strange, and some of the things he says are so weird. I can't. And by the way, he says abortion's not murder. That's his new thing now. Abortion's not murder because it's not alive until it breathes its first breath. The baby's not alive until it breathes its first. John the Baptist was filled with the Holy Ghost in his mother's womb. You're going to tell me? He's like, well, that's when God breathes into his nostrils the breath of life. Oh, you think God steps into every delivery room? Excuse me, Doc. God literally breathed into Adam's nostrils. He doesn't breathe into every person's nostrils every time they're born. And so he's a false teacher and a heretic. Like it or lump it. I mean, the guy's nuts. But what does it mean, their worm?